If you could tell people just one thing for life, what would that be then?
Never, ever, ever get complacent.
Welcome everybody to episode 35 of Watch Ross, the one where we're definitely running late, Petch. Come on, let's go. Petch, oh, we've got to meet Tina at 10. Cheers, Brian. That's what we needed. Tina. You must be Tina.
Yeah, I'm just ringing you now.
Oh, I'm a little bit late. 2 minutes late. How are you? Right, we've got to go in. I've got an espresso, and we're going to go and get an amazing kitchen. Tina's going to give me the best kitchen ever, Petch. Let's go. You've got to be perfectionists, eye to detail, and they've just got to be amazing, basically.
Yeah, no, don't worry, seriously. Right, time scale, how soon would you like it?
Right, so the plan is I'm going to get an electrician who's going to basically put a TV on the wall for me. Well, he's going to chase it in, and then we're obviously not going to have the TV on the wall yet. Then I need this ripping out. Then I'm going to paint the entire apartment. Decorators coming in to do that. Then I'll need the kitchen put in before the floor goes down.
Okay.
So it's probably, let's have a look at the date we're on now, 19th of June. So the electrician can probably do this early next week. So then I'll be ready to get the kitchen ripped out next week. Let's say that's the start of, let's say that's Monday. So that's going to be the 25th. Then it's getting a decorator booked in, that's the only thing. So I'd say probably end of July.
Okay, well, as soon as is August.
Fine.
Possibly even going into September.
Crikey. August would be good though. August would work.
Have you actually decided on which doors, which range you like?
I wanted handleless cashmere, I think, because the floor's going to be white painted oak, so I think the cashmere will go with it. And I want a matte finish though. Now Colton yesterday showed us a cashmere in the exact style that I want, but only gloss. But I've since been on the website and noticed you definitely do a handleless cashmere in matte. I'll tell you what it's called. I think it's Integra or something like that, or I can't remember what it was.
Integra?
Yeah, that might be it.
Right. Integra is a far dearer kitchen.
How much are we talking? Crazy money.
A lot more. What sort of budget, realistically, are you looking at spending on it?
I mean, what do you think is reasonable?
Well,
can we do it for $5,000?
Probably not. If you say 7, then I know I can do whatever you want, and it will be within budget. The budget.
You choose your own budget. Let's make it to 7, and then I'll haggle you down to 6, and then I'll get you a brew or something like that, and we'll get it for about 5.5. Deal or what? Sounds good to me. So there you go, everybody. We have designed, well, we're going to be designing the kitchen. This is Tina, the kitchen designer. She's the second guest, Tina, of Balcony Brews. How are you feeling today?
A little bit nervous.
Don't be nervous. Petch was the first guest on Balcony Brews. You're the real first guest on Balcony Brews. The real first one. So Tina's just been looking at doing me a kitchen. Forget all that. I've just found out something very exciting about her. That I really want to discuss this, right? Away from Tina's day job as designing kitchens, she's given me a card here that says Easel Street, Tina Marie on it. You're a bloody artist. Tell us about your art, how you got into that, and how you're developing this as your side hustle that hopefully is going to turn into your full-time hustle at some point, I guess.
Okay. I've always painted. and I've had a few commissions. So what happens is people will say to me, give me an idea of what they would actually like. They might send me pictures by email, we might meet and chat, and I try and get inside their head and know exactly the feel of what they want on the wall. I do watercolour, but I really prefer to do acrylic on canvases because I like the bold impact. I use very expensive canvases so they don't warp, and I use one of the best quality paints which are actually handmade by somebody in Yorkshire. And the difference is...
Yorkshire? It's only where he's bloody from, isn't it? He loves Yorkshire tea.
And they're incredible because the colours are so vivid and it just makes a whole difference.
How did you start this? How did you get into this? Is it something you've done like all your life?
I was actually working at the time for another company, and they had an advert on the television, and it was all about drawing. It was selling furniture, okay, and on the advert they had an artist drawing pictures of furniture like a silly advert, and I thought, you know what, I want to draw. So their advert for selling furniture just made me think, I'm going to do this. And I'd always done it in the past, but it just restarted it again for me, and I just went for it. And then the right time, the right place, I just met people, and I've been encouraged, and now it's everything I see. It's a painting. I used to see photography, which I used to do, but now everything I see is a painting.
So you're doing the kitchen's your day job. This is your side hustle. You're making some like decent money out of it. I guess some of those commissions are relatively high ticket. They're a few hundred quid.
Yeah.
What are your plans for kind of developing it? And if you could, would you? Because I think you probably can eventually go full time on this, and that's all that you do.
I would love to do that, but the designing kitchen job, I actually seriously enjoy doing that as well. So would it be possible to ever do my art full-time and do a little bit of part-time kitchen designing? Probably not, which is a shame. But I'll just have to see what happens and where it all goes.
There's a lot of creators watch this. So I'm an actor, Petch is an actor. There's a lot of there's probably some artists watching this, people who are creative, the singers, dancers, all kinds of people who are, though, probably stuck in jobs that they don't like, right? So you enjoy the kitchen stuff because I guess it ties in with your creativeness. Yes. You can be creative. Yeah. What would you say to people out there? Because this is a theme of the last 3 vlogs. Where we've been talking about people in jobs that they really don't like, and they've got a passion that's burning inside of them, and they're not pursuing it. What would you say to those? Was there a point for you where you were like, actually, I'm going to take this leap and I'm going to actually commit to this passion and monetize it? What would you say to anyone who's feeling a bit stuck?
I would probably say whenever you get the opportunity, talk to people about what your creative passion is, because I found I will speak to people and somebody always knows somebody who's interested in it, and I think like attracts like, and what I have found is when I start talking about it, it's as though there's an energy in the air, and you're sort of drawn to people who feel the same, and it does really build and grow. If you just keep it as a secret inside your head, it's going to stay there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I think there's so many people who take it to the grave with them. They're like, they've got this thing, they've got this book in their head, they've got the scripts in their head, a painting, a photograph, like you say, whatever it is. Yeah. And then it just, what do they say? The richest place in the world is a graveyard, Petch? Something like that, where all the ideas have gone to die. If you could paint anything, or have you got a favourite painting that you've done?
Yes, I probably have actually. It's of some bikers. It was actually taken from a very, very old Belstaff advert, and I've done it in very rustic style, and it's a take on that, and that's probably is my favourite one. I do like painting flowers because I love gardening, not because it's girly, I just like the bright colours and the garden side of it, but I like challenges, and when I'm given a commission, I have to rein myself in and do what I've been asked to paint. Whereas if I'm doing a painting for myself, I can change it and I can keep going off at tangents and go on and on. Whereas if I know I have got to deliver something for somebody precisely, it sort of controls me, and in a way it's actually easier to do that than do my own passion.
That's it. If someone wants a painting commissioned, how long would it take you to do that? Obviously, I guess it depends on what sort of. What's the average time? And are you on social media? Can we go and see some stuff on like Instagram and stuff?
Yeah, I'm on social media, yeah. If people contact me on my email address,
Which is?
which is easelstreet@gmail.com. I can give them all the links, and they can go on and see my work. My work's on Etsy as well, but the links are going to be on this blog, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, so people will be able to go on and have a look. It takes me weeks and weeks to paint because I make sure it's right, and people will have to be patient and prepared to wait for that, but it is worth it, obviously.
Awesome. Well, once again, listen, thank you so much for joining us, Tina. Check out easelstreet.etsy.com. Commission a piece. I'll put social media up here. Let us know if you do. I want to see the final product. And I'll be seeing you again soon for the kitchen, I'm sure.
Of course, yeah.
Going to do us an amazing deal. I've heard 95% off. Not saying anything to that. So we're in the park, come for a little walk in the park, so to speak, a little seat in the park. How good was Tina? Do go check her artwork out. Freaking love people pursuing their passions and monetising it, getting paid to do something that they love. But, Petch, I wish we'd have kept the camera rolling, because when Tina had finished our little balcony brew chat, she told us about another part of her life that's so freaking interesting. She's a medium. And she's not like a spiritual medium, like making money out of that. She says she works for the spirits. So she's not like egotistical about it, doesn't advertise it or anything like that. She's just super spiritual and ultimately hears voices, but not psycho voices. She's not schizophrenic. I was asking her, I was saying, Tina, how do you hear these voices? And she said, sometimes, I hear them like quietly in my head. Other times I hear them as if they're in the room. She said, and right now, and this was mental, she said, right now, it could be a 60-year-old guy who's Scottish. I mean, Petch looked at each other, and my dad was 60 years old when he died, and he was Scottish. And I'm like a big believer in this shit. Like, I'm not a skeptic at all. I want to get Tina back on, and maybe we'll do some kind of reading or something in the future. But awesome woman. Don't forget the discount on the kitchen, Tina. Thanks for coming out. Now, one thing I want to talk about now, very briefly, relates to the beginning of this vlog. Me and Petch were late this morning for our little meeting with Tina, but it relates to something I was speaking about last night on a book club that I do for the website that I run, actonthis.tv. I do a weekly book club, a bi-weekly book club now. Monday nights, I do a live broadcast basically every Monday, 9 p.m, and every other week it's a book club. And I was looking at a book last night by an awesome guy called Richard Reed, who is the co-founder of Innocent Drinks. You've all probably had an Innocent smoothie at some point in your life. He sold it to Coca-Cola for Petch, I think it's like $1 billion or something. It's mental. Super successful entrepreneur though. And what he did, he wrote this book called If I Could Tell You Just One Thing. And it was a collection of mini interviews with some of the most remarkable people on the planet. Everyone from presidents like Bill Clinton to Richard Branson, actresses like Dame Judi Dench, Olivia Colman, Ruby Wax, adventurers like Bear Grylls, top documentary makers like David Attenborough, just some brilliant, brilliant people. And Jude Law was one of those people, and he said something about lateness that I thought was really fascinating. He said this, if I could tell you one thing, it would be this: if you are going to be late, enjoy being late. And he didn't mean literally, because I know actors out there will be like, no, you should never be late for anything. He didn't mean like just be late to stuff. He meant if you're going to be late, like stay in the freaking moment, right? Don't worry about the future and what's going to happen when you get there. Try and enjoy what's actually happening on the way. And it was more of a metaphor for life, really. And I relate to this a lot because buying this apartment, it feels pretty late in my life. I'm 35, I'm only just buying my first place. And there's a lot of my friends who in their early 20s bought their first place. They're now married, they've got kids. I'm not, I'm a single bloke, no kids, living the bachelor lifestyle, Petch. But sometimes you can feel late when it comes to milestones in your life, and I just want to remind everybody, if you are feeling that, because I know what that feels like, you've got to stop comparing your freaking clock with anyone else's, because you are on your own time. I'm on Ross time, you're on Petch time, Hop's on Hop time. We're all running a different race, a marathon, not a sprint, as they say, and you're going to get to your milestones when you're going to get to your milestones. It's no one else's business. The minute you start comparing where you are at compared to everyone else, you've already lost. So be patient, enjoy what you've got now if you're going to be able to enjoy what you're going to get in the future. And that was Jude Law's one thing, if he could tell us just one thing. So I want to think now, Petch, maybe we should go and do this. We should have a think about this. What would be, do you know what your one thing would be?
No,
If you could tell people just one thing. Because there's so much advice we dish out on these vlogs and stuff. And I think to boil it down to one thing is pretty hard, but why don't we go get some food And I'm trying to think what it would be. We'll have a think about what our one thing would be. And I want everyone else now, we'll go and get Hop in a bit as well. Everyone else who's watching this, start thinking now about if you could tell us just one thing, what would that be? Social media's up on here, at Ross A. Grant, at Real Pets UK. Is it Real Pets UK? It is now, isn't it? Yeah. Don't know why I question myself.
Ross's one thing.
Forgive people as quickly as you can for yourself, because you're unlocking the prison cell that you put yourself in if you're holding a grudge. And you've got to realise, I remind myself of this all the time, that people's decisions do not define them. They are very separate. A good person can make bad decisions, a bad person can make good decisions, etc. So yeah, it would be to realise people's decisions are separate to who they are. And if someone's made a bad decision and maybe that screwed you over a bit, or someone you know, like say personal, professional, whatever, forgive as quickly as you can, because you're going to do it for yourself and live a much calmer life, I guess.
Petch's one thing.
Don't take life too seriously, or don't take yourself too seriously. I know through being on the vlog, as you can see in past vlog episodes, that when I got in front of the camera, I'd get really hung up on what I was going to say and really shy. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's not going to matter in 5 weeks' time. It's not going to matter in 5 days' time. It's not going to matter in 5 years' time. So why am I stressing about so many little things when at the end of the day, who cares?
So there you go, our 2 pieces of advice. Interesting. I mean, there were so many. I could give you another 50, but yeah, for me, forgive as quickly as possible. For Petch, have a bit more fun. Forgive and have more fun. What we're going to do now, going to get ourselves over to Media City, going to meet Hop. We're going to get an update on whether Hop is enjoying his job or not this week. This is so funny. I thought he was great on the vlog last week. He just got to the point where he just stopped giving a shit. He's another one who's opened up a bit more on camera now, and he's like, I'm just going to be super honest with you.
He's having fun. He's having fun.
He is not. Well, he wasn't having fun last week, was he?
Why is somebody worrying about me 4 minutes late?
Going to head over Media City and see him, and I might do an Instagram live on the way to find some other person or people's one piece of advice that could tell us just one thing. For Ross, mate, yeah? Oh, wicked, I'm still waiting here, mate, sorry. Didn't know you were there. Chowdy's advice, if he could tell you just one thing, is just to help as many people as you can, because doing the right thing, always the right thing. He's from Pakistan, came over in 2010, all his family live over there, wanted a better life for himself. And even now, you know, as he's building that life, he's helping other people here who've been here all their lives live a better life. So, yeah, just leave people better than you found them.
You're enough exactly where you are, regardless of where you are in your life, in your career, and what your resume says. I think so often we wait to book more roles to feel like we're enough or feel worthy or to get married or have certain things, but it's to realize it's okay to want those things, but you're enough where you are.
There you go, Tony Ross's advice, Pets, you are enough. We were talking about that before. So many people think they aren't and they don't deserve stuff and they're lacking. Everything you need is within you now. You already have it. I agree with that, man. Here he is, the lad, back in Media City. Hop, you look a little bit highly strung. How are you feeling?
It's tough, this gig.
It's a tough gig. Petch, he said it's a tough gig. I thought he was going to come back this week and be like, yeah, it's all right, we've got a little bit better. Right, we've got some deck chairs set up, Hop.
Yep.
Let's get a drink. What do you feel like?
I'm going to have to neck a pint, mate. I've got no choice, I'm going to have to neck a pint.
I've got a coffee, you go get yourself a pint, let's chat. The sun is not shining like it was the last time we were here, but is a little ray of sunshine in our lives. Mr. Hopwood, Sean is in the house. He's back from his new project / job. Last week, Hop. I mean, look, he's changed already. Last week, the update was he absolutely freaking hated the 9 till 5. He hated the office politics. He didn't understand it. His entrepreneurial flame was back. Hop, I can tell this week is serious. You've been making notes. Just give us an update and let's talk.
Hello. Here we are. Right, yeah, I've got notes. I feel like there was a point last week, and I was coming this week, and I thought bit more positive. I thought, I'm going to come to you.
I thought you were going to be more positive.
Yeah, I did. See, I'm not going to be negative, because this is more of an overview, not of me, but of the 9 to 5 from an observation, because I know I'm not there forever, as we discussed last week. Let me read you my notes. These are golden. These are absolute golden. Look at me. I've had too much this is a thing as well. I've had too much caffeine today. I've eaten sugar. I don't eat sugar. I had some udder juice, so milk, right? Udder juice. Because of this monotony, right? That's why, because you're staring at a screen in a seat with people around you and just feel this necessity to have something that might give you a bit of a kick, so you have some sugar. It's ridiculous. This is what I've made. I feel like I've given myself a prison sentence. In the sense that I lost my discipline, and to rediscover it, I've got a job. It is a sub-prison for non-criminals, a roboticness of obedience, dinner at the same time every day, finishing at the same time, nervousness when walking to the toilet, if someone's looking at you like, where's he going? Personality starved of individuality and moulded into an office conformity. That's my thoughts. That's what I wrote today.
Wow. I mean, I don't really know what to say to that. I mean, obviously you're having a great time at this new job. Wow, it's definitely not for you, Hop. It's definitely not for you. What I'd like to do is tie this in then to the theme of today's vlog, which was actually the beginning of the vlog was lateness. Are you still getting looks if you're 4 minutes late?
I've not been 4 minutes late. I've been 15 minutes early every day.
Excellent. So that's because he didn't want to avoid the office politics. One up.
I'm there before him, and I take his parking space. It's me one up.
Nice, one up.
That's my ENTP personality type.
My goodness. Well, the second theme of the vlog is, or has been today, it's been if you could tell people one thing from the book we've been doing on the book club that I do. We've been looking at a book called If I Could Tell You Just One Thing, and it's basically where you could just tell people one piece of advice. Maybe you want to tie it into this, maybe you don't. It ties in. What if you could tell people just one thing for life? What would that be then?
Never, ever, ever get complacent. Ever. Because believe me, this is what happens when you do. I potentially had everything there for me, set up, done, worked hard, everything. I got complacent. That's it. My piece of advice is never get complacent, because there's always someone working harder. There's someone going to come up behind you. There's someone grinding harder than you. So when you feel, and it's also the ego state of mind that you think you've made it. That mentality, never think you've made it. Keep going. There's always someone you can help. There's always something more you can do. Always something better you can read. Just don't ever get complacent. That's my one thing.
Freaking hell, Petch. What do you think of that? It's got like, that's powerful, Hop. It's got serious, Hop. This has probably been your best episode. How do you feel about that?
Get me an Oscar.
We've had an Oscar. You've held an Oscar.
Wow. Oh my God, it looks fake. It's so heavy.
Hoppy's getting better every single ep. Yeah, I think this experience for you has been. I mean, he's drinking a pint. The first thing he said to me when he came over, he's working a real job makes me want to neck a pint.
I don't know why. It just does. That's how you feel like your brain's so numb and fried. You need something to just like boom, wake it back up again, and that's a pint.
Bloody hell. Well, I hope this has woken you up, everybody. I want you to let us know what your one thing is. Don't ever get complacent. I completely agree with that. Sometimes I've been in that situation where I'm like, oh, okay, have I done enough? Should I just sit back? Even with the vlog a little bit, sometimes like, oh, you know what, we've done 30 episodes. Maybe we should just take a couple of weeks off. No, never get complacent. Keep churning stuff out. Keep working hard. Keep having fun. That's what me and Petch were saying before, one of our lessons. Forgive quickly. There's loads of lessons on this vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let us know what your one thing is. If you could tell us just one thing. Social media, as always, is up on the screen. How many weeks do you think you're going to be in this job, Hop? Do you think you're going to get out of it soon or what?
No, it's a project. Like I said, it's a project, and I've got an aim, and I've got things that I want to take from it. So I'm not going until I feel like I've hit that. I'm not quitting. I'm not leaving until I've got what I feel I needed out of it.
I just want you back on the vlog full time, basically. So hopefully, episode 36 next week, we'll maybe have got him back. Until then, we shall see. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, you as well. Come round, Petch, and get involved with the last thing. It's not been in this bit for a little bit. Get in the middle. Get involved.
Get involved. There we are.
Thanks, guys. Don't know what the music is going to be next, but it's going to be a great choice. Until then, bye for now.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, barely getting by. It's all taking.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. It really would mean the world to me if you would leave a comment telling me what you enjoyed and what you would like to see more of next time. If you want to catch more episodes, head over to facebook.com/WatchRoss or youtube.com/WatchRoss. Make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on. I'll be back real soon. Bye for now.
I can't believe 6-year-old Scott. I can't believe you just said that.
Well, I can actually.
But you just said it though. Like, you could have chosen anything. You could have said, oh, 8-year-old Geordie. You said 60-year-old
60-year-old
Scottish.
yeah.
I mean, that's exactly, honestly, well, that's nice to know. My dad's very good with music, you know.
right.
Sometimes there's a couple of songs wherever we are, they just pop on.